Don't let go of the fucking rules.
These experiences to children's literature. And he's 1957 exciting visuals, vibrant colours and fun rhythmic verse. The post-war social undercurrent. See this essential humanitarian messages taking aim at fascism, authoritarianism,
don't even get me started on that Am I allowed
environmentalism. In late 1957, in which he planned to commercialism and materialism, focusing on a screwed-like character.
No fucking moves.
Zeus used the word Grinch in his stories twice. His 1953 book, Scrambled Egg Super, featured an exotic bird called the blue-veined Automated Grinch, which bore a slightly monosyllabic and more predominantly in his 1955 The Grinch in this tale was a snappy swaddler who provided the processes of screaming.
In series right now,
But the classic 1957 version of the Grinch, the character was depicted as a giant splendidly creature with a bulging fish body and head, and spindly legs, arms and fingers, large feet and shoulders. The tale told of a solitary character so devoid of love, compassion or empathy that he plans to rid the humans of Reupload through his selfish actions and the Who's acceptance of the Who's those who see the Stephanie correlation, it's quite clear that the story mirrored particularly in the greater arts and their respective beliefs. In the 1957 interview with Reupload, Zeus noted that it was his own inspiration behind the character for the story's message, saying, I was brushing my teeth on the morning of the 26th of last December when I noticed a very Grinchish countenance in the mirror. So I wrote about my sour friend, the Grinch, deciding to rediscover something about Christmas, saying in another interview, every grown-up thinks Christmas from the commercial aspect. Zeus was an often grouchy eccentric who lived a solitary life with an enormous distaste for large crowds. In his later years, he was also disconnected from his faith, a result of living naturally, he used a lot of himself into his always thought the cat in the hat had on good days, and the Grinch was not on his bad days. He embraced the stupid driving a car with a Grinch plastic. Oh my God! Wrote a majority of the story in just a few weeks, describing it as
yeah, don't worry, buddy. I'm not
while comfortable in using social and political messages into his stories, he was less so with religious faith, saying, I'm not hung up on how to get the Grinch out of the mix. I got into a situation where I sounded like a second-rate preacher or something Bible thumper. Finally, his desperation put him making a statement, whatever. I threw the Grinch and the Who's together at the table and made a run on the Grinch covered in roast beef. He had gone thousands of religious voices and then in mid-May 1957, second leader How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and it was published a mere month later, first in Reupload and then in Bookstore. It too was a hit with readers and critics, who praised it unanimously. Kirkus Reviews described it as irreplaceable and irresistible, calling the Grinch easily the best Christmas card since someone one day selling thousands of copies into the mid-60s. It became a reasonably instant holiday classic, and around this time, Zeus's ex-army pal, John Jones, contacted him
somehow everyone in the family bar is
wonderful,
terrific idea.
Jones had left Warner Animation in 1963 after directing more than 200 legions and merry melodies, and was now at Indiana directing Tom and Jerry. Having dabbled in TV culture and the dominant medium for animation, he was recognized as an
Wait, don't let me near the model kids!
Wanted to work with Zeus again for some time and adapt one of his thoughts, Jones found the Grinch would be the perfect collaboration, especially as he found Mickey himself the character, saying everybody hates Christmas equally. When someone comes along who hates Christmas publicly and openly, he'd love it.
Grandpa, no! You're gonna go subatomic!
I'm sorry, Jason. It's the only way.
Zeus was hesitant to allow works to make the jump from pages to screen. He did, however, have an enormous respect for Rusty Jones. After getting the okay from MGM, Jones's team put together a set of storyboards and pitched the sponsors. Eventually, the foundation for commercial bands bought it in a move Jones found very odd, finding them an unlikely proof of the stories particularly quoting Bruce's line, "Christmas doesn't belong to the store." Jones said, "The thought of fans endorsing that kind of music, but they were the largest around the twist is so cartoon Bruno really hard generous budget for the project, resulted so much so animation has which certainly explains why this resembles Jones's theatrical cartoon. Urination, vomiting, body odor. Seuss wasn't heavily involved in the production. Kids should know what that is. During storyboarding, giving his okay, just wait. Here's what it is. Transitioning incest, homosexuality, bestiality, and almost the oh god, no! What was I allowed to watch this? Just to give you an example of what we're dealing with here, some of the skeletons on the dummy, that is little black balls where one of the main characters has to search for votes to find his open cross without my parents, an episode in which the girl catches someone who presented the audience as an observer. Additionally, Jones added songs, a staple of all the holiday specials. And true to the non-religious angles, they suggested new carols be written in Circassian Latin, so they sounded spiritual to those unauthored in Latin, being literal nonsense. While melodic duties went to composer Elvis Hayes, lyrics went to the authentic Circassian Latin. Seuss himself must continue said, "Chuck is a fine fellow. He's the only person I know who lets me write lyrics." 3 songs were written for the film, which have each become synonymous with the Grinch and Christmas as a whole. Given that the special was produced in colour, Jones needed to take liberties with the visual design, as the black and white featured red colours. He decided to integrate a sickly green into a ugly colour that was while sticking true to Seuss's artistic style, Jones certainly put his own recognisable spin on the designs. In fact, Jones initially got in an argument with Seuss over his name on the character, with Seuss first remarking, "That don't look like the Grinch, that's more like you." Seuss remained reluctant throughout early production, but eventually came around to Jones's take. His widow, Audrey, later said, as it went along and as he saw it, the songs and everything were just wonderful, and he was a happy camper. Jones imagined no one more perfect to voice the Grinch than Boris Karloff, a star of Golden Age Universal horror films, best known for playing Monster. Because of this, Seuss believed he would be very scary for the role. However, Jones had come across a number of audio books he had narrated and critics thus, he was cast not only as the Grinch, but the narrator as well. In later years, Jones considered Karloff's voice work the major reason for the special's everlasting success. An uncredited third Ravenscroft, best known for his role as Tony the Tiger in Frosted Flakes commercials and as a vocal performer in many Disney Plus attractions, his voice in the song. After the immense success of A Charlie Brown Christmas the previous year, CBS paid 4 times more, $315,000.
God, kid, haven't you ever heard of Google?
Million to play the Grinch in a 3-year run. A 1966 Variety article noted the Grinch not only stole Christmas, but picked CBS's pocket, acknowledging it as one of the most expensive half hours of television ever made. When the special debuted on December 18, 1966, reaction amongst critics was mixed. Variety called it a literate half hour, and Toronto Star called it perfect, while others found it a disappointment, with Newsday calling it fodder for the tube, and the New York Times remarking the Grinch to be a creation that should be left undisturbed on the print page. Regardless, 38 million viewers tuned in, more than double the 15.5 million that watched Charlie Brown. The special was thus an enormous hit, and like Charlie Brown, continues in syndication annually. It even helped skyrocket sales of the book in following years. Following the success of the special, Jones and Seuss collaborated on a 1970 adaptation of Horton Hears a Who, They began work on The Cat in the Hat before a shutdown of MGM Animation forced the project into the hands of Jones's Looney Tunes colleagues, Chris Freeling and David H. DePatie, who produced a number of other Seuss specials, returning to The Grinch in 1977 for Halloween special Halloween is Grinch Night. Produced as a prequel, this special saw an entirely evil Grinch unleashing hell on Whoville on Halloween night, with no redeeming arc whatsoever. Produced on a much smaller budget, it featured cheaper animation and highly surrealist visuals. As a result, the Grinch's design was altered. Here he appeared quite a bit pudgier and less wiry, with a much shorter grip and a darker colour scheme. Airing on October 28, 1977, the special didn't receive anywhere near the audience acclaim of the original, though did win an Emmy Award and lives on as a cult favourite today. In 1982, DePatie and Freeling produced one final Grinch special with Seuss, The Grinch Grinches the Cat in the Hat, saw the Grinch travelling to the real world to reconnect with his evil side. Here he runs into the Cat in the Hat, who offends him by calling him Mr. Greenface. Hijinks ensue as both parties spend a 25-minute runtime annoying the heck out of one another until the cat reminds Grinch of the love he once had. Of course, this incredibly paltry special lacks any of the heart, intelligence, or ingenuity of the original, with a story aimed at the youngest of audiences and a minuscule budget that made for even worse animation. Here, the Grinch returned to his Grinch Night design, though his clip and collar were replaced with small, straggly hairs, likely to save on time and budget. Despite being but a shell of the original, it still managed to take away an Emmy Award. The Grinch didn't appear in any visual media again until 1996's The Wobblous World of Dr. Seuss from Jim Henson Productions. Here, he appeared regularly in Muppet form as a series villain, often antagonising the citizens of Seussville. While this was technically a live-action series, the Grinch didn't make his first proper jump into the medium for a couple of years. After Seuss's death in 1991, Audrey sold the Grinch's film rights to Universal Pictures in what Variety described as among the richest rights deals ever made at the time. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, directed by prolific director Ron Howard and starring beloved comedian Jim Carrey, released in the year 2000. It was the first feature-length film based on one of Seuss's books, working also as a live-action remake of the Jones cartoon, retaining many elements that he introduced, including Max's expanded role, the gag-laden sleigh sequence, the songs, and the Grinch's green fur, now synonymous with the character. In order to further extend the story, more new elements were introduced, including a backstory which aimed to make the Grinch a more sympathetic character with an actual motive, as well as an expanded role for Cindy Lou Who, the only named Who in the book. For 92 days, Carrey endured torturous makeup and costume that covered his entire body, even his eyeballs, which he likened to being buried alive every day. The film's producers even hired a CIA operative trained in torture resistance to help him tolerate the process. Described at the time as the biggest motion picture production in years, it opened to lukewarm reviews, with Roger Ebert calling it just not much fun. However, it was a hit with audiences, particularly children. I know, I was one at the time, and grossed over $345 million worldwide on a $120 million budget, becoming the 6th highest grossing film of the year and the 2nd most successful holiday film of all time, behind only 1990's Home Alone, living on 20 years as a holiday classic. Both films were, however, knocked from their places with the release of Universal and Illumination Entertainment's feature-length CG animated adaptation starring Benedict Cumberbatch in 2018. Here, the Grinch again takes on his green tone, though in a much brighter shade, and appears taller, slimmer, cleaner, and less grungy than previously. He was also given buck teeth and white eyes, usually coloured yellow. The film is once again an amalgamation of previous versions, again retaining Jones's well-known elements such as the songs, as well as the live-action's stronger focus on Cindy Lou Who. With an aim towards a much younger demographic, The Grinch was made less cynical and given an even more sympathetic backstory. While critics praised its gorgeously vibrant animation, it failed to connect with most audiences, taking in $511.8 million at the worldwide box office and placing 18th highest grossing of the year. In December 2020, The Grinch made one more jump onto the screen when NBC aired How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the musical, a newly staged recording of the 1994 Broadway production featuring Matthew Morrison in the title role. With this currently the character's final foray into visual media, we must finally close out this visual encyclopedia. When he'll return again to our screens is currently unsure. He's already given us so much, it would be greedy to want more. With his books, specials and movies living on in our hearts, it's hard to see a Christmas where from him we'll ever be apart. And at that, it's over to you who's. I want to know which version of Dr. Seuss's The Grinch is your absolute favourite. Fire away down in the comments below and let me know your thoughts. Hey everyone, if you haven't yet, smash that big old subscribe button up on your screen to keep up to date with all my content and hit that like button down below. Also, don't forget to check me out on social media and please consider supporting me over on Patreon for as little as $1 a month for exclusive videos, early access content and to get your name up on the screen. Thanks again for watching.